What's up, man? It's your boy Derek Branch here of Saint Discussions on Strike 7 Sports. In today's video, we're going to talk about what went down yesterday with the New Orleans Saints. Got hot at the right time. It was just too late. Unfortunately, Saints will not be going to the playoffs for the third straight year because of pretty much the same type of circumstances for the third straight year. It continues to happen, you know. But on the bright side, it was one of the better performances that the Saints had this season from start. Well, I won't say start to finish, but they were able to respond to a team that looked like it was trying to really, spoil it for the Saints as they, close out the season and hoping for a playoff push. Now, as many of you already know, the stakes at hand were that Saints had to beat the Falcons and Carolina Panthers had to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the Saints to win the NFC South. And if scenario two was the Arizona Cardinals beating the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears beating the Green Bay Packers, because both of those teams were in front of the Saints in the wild card playoff standings. But unfortunately, none of them happened. I was watching I was kind of like I got Sunday tickets. So I was kind of paying attention to the game because I got like the with Sunday ticket you could watch like multiple games at one time on with we have four different screens up. And I was just watching the Panthers game, man, and just like they just fumbled it away because if they had if they started Andy Dalton instead of not Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, they would have probably would have beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat them by a score what 9-0, I think. 9-0. They couldn't even get on the scoreboard. And the touchdown they did have, it got waved off because of um, you know, a touchback in the end zone. A touchdown got waved off because it was in a legal. I think the ref got them for a legal shift or something like that, legal formation. So they couldn't put up points at all. They missed field goals, all that. And Tampa Bay beat them by a field goal. I think it's a field goal game. It's all they did. So that happened. I just kind of like gave up on that scenario. Like when I was watching the game, like, nah, they ain't gonna do it. Then the second scenario, I just kind of was like, just kind of lost interest in it because after all that hard work that was put in, after the huge game that they put up, that was just kind of put to the side by what happened in the game. At the end of the game, between the Falcons and the Saints. Saints were up 41, I believe what 41-17. And they put James Winston in, and they wanted to just go into a victory formation. And Jameis, and the team, they all came to an agreement that we want to give Jamal Williams his first touchdown of the season. And Jameis, they put the request in, but Dennis Allen denied it. But Jameis, took matters into his own hand, and in the victory formation, they scored a touchdown. It's too funny, but in the victory formation, they scored a touchdown and made the score 48-17. And once the game was over, y'all saw the blow up. I got played for y'all. Y'all saw what happened with Arthur Smith, who is now fired as Atlanta Falcons head coach. He pretty much cussed out Dennis Allen, and as they were walking the greet, and Dennis Allen said, "I understand that," and it is a whole bunch of mess that went down after that because in the pros game presser, they reporters were asking him about that question what went down with that, and he said that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm paraphrasing what the DA said, but he said that wasn't supposed to happen. They were supposed to go in kneel formation, victory formation, take a knee, game over. That's it. But he said they didn't call it. So there's that. And then they talked to James Winston about what happened, and he pretty much he apologized to Dennis Allen, but he meant what he said. He was respectful about it, and he wanted to give Jamal Williams that first touchdown of the season. Guys working hard, throughout the year, man, despite what has happened, despite his numbers not being what they were with the Detroit Lions, or close to that at all, you know what I'm saying? But they want to give him that touchdown. Now, I've seen a lot of comments online, on social media, YouTube, about everybody pretty much standing with the players and all that. But you gotta look at it both ways, though. You really do, because this puts a black cloud over this team. If we're being honest, going to the off season, you gotta look at it both ways, because in regards to like leadership, from a leadership aspect of it, he being the most important person on the team, next to, like, in the hierarchy, when it comes to football operations, it makes him look really bad. It makes him look like they don't respect him. That's what it made it look like. We call you put out an order, you give a direct order to not do that, not run that play, and they just did, they just kind of James just did what he wanted, and he went for the touchdown. That's fine and all, but they got it was good that Williams got the touchdown, but man, from a leadership standpoint, man, it makes DA look bad. You know, it really does. You know what I'm saying? And DA did a terrible job himself. He didn't do anything to cover it up in the post game presser. He could have just said, well, yeah, oh well. Yeah, we'll deal with it later on, but not right now. I'm just gonna, I'm speaking like D at the presser. Like, I'm just speaking like D is at the post game presser. He could have just said, "Yeah, we'll deal with that later on, man. We'll talk about it in the off season." Right now, I'm just want to celebrate this win over a division rival. Feels good, but and we're not gonna worry about that right now. That's what he could have said. He didn't have to bring it up at all. He really didn't. And also, this ain't the first time that has happened. That coaches have run up the score on other teams. Sean Payton did it a bunch of times during his time with the Saints. Other coaches have done it. The Dolphins dropped 70 on the team, on Denver Broncos. I didn't see any outrage on that. People were really fussing about that. And if you did do it, he mad. So what? It is what it is. Stop me. You don't want me to score all these touchdowns on you? Why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you stop me? Because you was doing a good job of doing that when the game was still close. Kind of held the Saints down to a certain extent. And then for whatever reason, I guess I'm assuming they, you know, I guess some of them was watching had the school board somewhere, had the score between Carolina and Tampa Bay, and they just gave up. That would have to happen. But if Arthur Smith was so hurt about it, then why didn't you stop him? You know. So that's, to me, that's fault on both sides of this thing, the players and Dennis Allen, man. Dennis Allen did a terrible job covering that up, because he could have did a lot of things, said a lot of things for that issue to, like, blow up like it did, you know. So instead of celebrating a win and kind of having some type of like optimism going into the off season, we focusing on this now. You got to get that fixed, and that makes him like, how you bring it back? How Mickey Loomis could justify bringing? I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring him back, but how that justifies him bringing it back, man? When you got players, making their own calls, especially like a pointless, touchdown. at the end of a game. Pointless, you know. But Denzel could have did a better job of that. Better job of covering up for that for his players instead of throwing them under the bus. You know, and if the national media would have been upset, social media, these talking heads out there, all they would have did was talk about him for like a few days or so, and it'll be the next story will pop up, and that's it. Nobody talk about it no more, no more. And also the Saints not even going to the playoffs, so it wouldn't even been like a huge story. You know what I'm saying? The Saints not even going to the playoffs, so it wouldn't be that much of a big deal. But Dennis Allen just did a terrible job, bro. He just did a terrible job at that post game press. He's been doing a terrible job all season long, if we're being honest, at those press interviews. If you keep it a buck, he's been doing a terrible job, you know. And that's what happens when you know the players don't have the respect for you, man. That's what happens. That's what I feel is happening, man. Because I'm seeing a second article mentioning Marshall Lattimore getting traded, and but this time it was Marshawn Lattimore and um, Michael Thomas. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about, Jeff Duncan. So you can connect the dots and see what's about to go down. You can connect the dots, man. And James ain't gonna be here anyway, man. James really he's not gonna be here now and next year. I can tell you that now. You know, but it is what it is, man. And I hope this don't affect Jameis's chance to get other opportunities and with other teams, man. I really don't hope that happens. But they'll get over it, man. They'll- it'll be it'll be over with in a few days, man. I don't know if Pete. I don't know if Pete Carmichael did enough to keep his job. I hope they move on from Pete Carmichael, but with the way Derek Carr played down the stretch, could encourage them to believe that things are going to be okay. It really can, But this is what happens. I keep saying this. This is what happens when you don't take care of your own business. This is what happens when you lose games at the beginning of the season, and people, including myself as well. I'm guilty of it. You kind of like brush it off, like, oh well, they lost. They'll be all right. When they played against Green Bay, third game of the season, 17-point lead. They were 2-0, dropped them 2-1. That hurt them. That hurted them. The Vikings game. That hurt them. Losing to a quarterback that let him come in and cook you. You know, Lose to the Texans, a rookie QB. Now, CJ Stroud is the real deal, but at that point in the season, you should have beat him. Why didn't you beat the Why didn't you do this to Atlanta the first time? Because all you needed was one more win on your record. One more win on your record. One more loss. One more and one less loss. That would have been one less loss on your record as well. All you needed was one more win. Because if you had beat Atlanta the first time and you would have beat Tampa Bay, combined with that win he had over Tampa Bay, you would have been good. All you had to do did today, boy, yesterday was winning you're in. That's all you had to do. This is how simple this was, man. How simple this stuff was. But nah, bro, we can't have nice things, man. We the Saints, bro. We can't enjoy nice things, bro. But we'll see how it play out, man. I don't think I don't think Mark Thomas is coming back. I don't think he's coming back. I don't. The way A.T. Perry looked today, I don't think he's coming back. Kendrick Miller looked great. We saw a glimpse of what the future is going to look like. I like I like what I saw out of you know, the defense played pretty well in that second half. Um, Carr looked great, but it's late. Too little, too late. Too little, too late for this team. They do it all the time, you know. But it's how it is. You know what I'm saying? When you're not, like I say, you lack preparation, not consistent. This is what happens. This is what happens. And you got players out here, doing things. This is what happens, man. So we're gonna see how it play out in the next couple of days, man. Black Monday has started. Arthur Smith is has been fired. So that's one coach that's two openings that's two openings in the NFC South. Carolina job and the Atlanta job. Heard some rumors that Atlanta might be looking at Bill Belichick to become the next head coach. We'll see. We'll see. But it's just to me it's a disappointment that the season played out the way it did. You know, I know Dennis Allen got his first win of the season, his coaching career, 9-8. But playoffs, man. What happened to the playoffs? You could have got in. And also, excuse me, you would have got in as division champions. You would have been playing the Philadelphia Eagles, who look really bad right now. You probably could have gotten to the divisional round, the playoffs. See, that's missed opportunities. Who knows if you get the same opportunity next year with a tougher schedule? I'm gonna look at that in a different video, but who knows? That's why you can't take the stuff for granted, man. You cannot take the stuff for granted at all. You gotta maximize on your opportunities, bro. Especially when the league throws you a bone like this easy schedule. But that didn't happen, and now this is the consequences of that. So we'll be hearing how things gonna play out in the next couple of days in regards to Pete Carmichael and the rest of the coaching staff. And we'll see what Mickey Loomis got to say about what happened at the end of the game. Because I'm pretty sure he sees everything that's been posted on social media. And I'm pretty sure the folks at the top, the ownership sees it as well. So we'll see what's gonna happen. All right. But that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to our channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel as though the Saints do you feel as though the players did the right thing by going by ignoring Dennis Allen's orders and taking advantage of matters into their own hands? Also, you felt as though DA was disrespected. All right. Check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the Warren Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out. Who that?